Road 96 is the relaxing single-player story you've been waiting for, taking inspiration from other story-driven games such as Firewatch, Life is Strange, and the Walking Dead series. But what type of gameplay, choices, and story does it have to offer? Sit back and relax while I go over what this game objectively has to offer to you and give you my opinion at the end. First, let's talk about the story. The heart of the game is based around teenagers attempting to escape or change a corrupt government, all set before the ticking time bomb of a divisive election. Within the story, you take on the role of faceless teenagers, making their journey to the border to escape the country. You'll run into a cast of characters that will shape how the story unfolds, each with their own unique point of view, and some that just love to embrace chaos. The teenagers you inhabit will face challenges along their journey to the border. Some will cross the border to freedom, while others are detained, or even lose their lives, cutting their story short. There are many ways you can play and shape the world around you. In this game, your choices truly do make a difference. Will you become the resistance that strikes down the corrupt government? Will you be the ripple that's needed to swing voices to a specific side? Or will you just try to make your way past the chaos for yourself? Road 96 would not be much of a game without gameplay, so let's dive into that. When you're first starting off, you will select your faceless teenager. You will be told how long they've been missing, how much money they have in their pockets, how far away they are from their border, their age, and how much energy they have starting out. Since the distance is pretty self-explanatory, let's dive into the energy and money. Your character's energy will be dictated by how much rest and food they get. Primarily, your energy will be used while traveling. There are a few situations you will be thrown into, however, that will cost you energy points, so having some to spare is always a good thing. These points can be replenished by resting. If you rest in a cardboard box, your energy bar will replenish by 1. However, if you are able to snag a bed to sleep in, more of your energy bars will be filled. You can also boost your energy by consuming both food and water. More luxurious travel, better sleeping situations, food, and opportunities will be locked behind money a good portion of the game. Money in this game will truly open doors for you. However, it may not be the easiest to come by. You can work jobs to earn yourself some cash, beg, or even steal. So think wisely before rushing ahead without any cash in hand. Your moral decisions will affect how far you can make it on your journey. Throughout the game, you will find yourself in one of two situations. You will either be placed in an area that you can freely explore or locked into one location, usually a vehicle. The areas you can walk around in and explore will have hidden goodies such as money, keys, and food. They will even allow you to vandalize political posters to help sway the tide of the election. Collectible music cassettes can also be found hidden away throughout these levels, and even in vehicles. The areas that you are locked into will often be heavily dialogue-filled. Diving a bit further into the stories behind each character, you will be given hints as to when your response will affect the world in a specific way. Rebellious responses will have a fist symbol, democratic responses will have a ballot symbol, and a passive symbol will be with a bindle. Each of these choices will move the dial closer to a specific outcome. Littered throughout your journey, there will be some fun mini-games, whether it be attempting to play an instrument or to beat them at Connect 4. These activities will help lighten the mood and change up the gameplay from time to time. In total, there are 6 different types of skills that you can unlock by interacting with the NPCs in this game. They go as follows. Lockpicking, which gains you access to doors that are generally off limits or you'll require a key for. Lucky Star allows you to open special purple containers that show a star littered throughout the story, giving you things such as food as well as money. It also improves your chances on dice roll decisions, which tend to be riskier choices that you can make throughout the game and will display your percentage of success. By getting this perk, you get 15 additional % in your success rating. Government Pass, which allows players to get out of high-stakes situations with the authorities that you normally wouldn't be able to pass through. Almond Vitality adds additional energy bars, allowing the player to do a lot more extraneous activities as well as charge up their energy bar instead of having it deplete so easily. Hacking. This ability allows you to get into electronically locked doors, fuse boxes, and every single safe in the game. And then the last one is Cleverness, which grants you persuasion, deception, and overall additional dialogues that would not have been available to you before. Whether you lack a skill or money, any of the options that you see when you're roaming around that have red writing or a red highlight will show that you are missing what's required to go through and access that portion, whether it be a door or a dialogue option. You won't necessarily collect all these abilities on your first playthrough, however, the skills you unlock will carry from one teenager to another. The interactions that you have with the NPCs are completely random, so even someone who's doing a second playthrough won't know what character they're going to be interacting with next. The main story does have multiple endings, but for the NPC characters, their stories generally remain the same. Now that we've got the objective points out of the way for you, it's time to give you my opinion after playing through the story twice, which in total took me about 14 hours worth of playtime. The art style and music does a great job of creating a relaxing atmosphere, allowing you to take in the sights while embracing the moment you find yourself in. The soundtrack is 28 tracks in total, each of them unique, yet still filled with heart. So I have to give the team kudos for their love and caring curation of the variety of musical artists they chose from. The music tracks you've been listening to through this entire video, in fact, are from the soundtrack, so you've already been given a taste of their work. The story, while compelling at times, does seem a bit lopsided. In most games that rely heavily upon choice, the antagonist group tends to have a good reason for their actions, one that makes you as the player understand their point of view, if not even side with them. However, they treat the tyrannical president as just that, without any additional depth or context. While it's great for rallying people against a bad guy, it feels like lazy writing for a game based around choice and story. The background of the characters is interesting and kept my attention, but not so much past the first completion of the story. For me, the game satisfied the craving for a story-based game with a comfortable feel. However, don't expect to get more than 8 to 10 hours out of the game, which for $20 I'd say is a fair price. Repeating the NPC stories can get a bit tiring when you sat through the dialogue before, however some minor decisions will affect NPC endings, which I do admit is interesting and may entice you to play through it once more to find out what happens. Overall, I would recommend this game for anyone who enjoys a short story that can capture your attention and do so with style. I enjoyed my time with Road 96 and will be looking forward to playing their prequel, Road 96 Mile Zero, in the future. Now that you have a better understanding of what this title has to offer, you can decide whether that 1996 price tag, which is funny in itself, is worth it, or if you should find something else. Nevertheless, thank you for your time, and if you would enjoy more videos like this, make sure to kick that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm AJ from Those Awkward Gamers, and wherever your road takes you, remember to enjoy the journey along the way.